अशोक सर एमओसी आप होना सर स्टार्ट करिए।
स्टार्ट करें। गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन।
Good morning.
Welcome to our day 2 session on digital technology management for business growth. We have our speaker CS Haresh Jani, who will be speaking, who will be continuing yesterday's session, and he will explain all the additional tools and techniques related to digital technology which can be used in our professional services. So I would like to request CA Antim Pataniji sir to please formally introduce CS Haresh Jani sir. Over to you, Antim Patani sir.
Thank you, Ashok sir. Good morning, all of you. I'm Antim Patni. I'm coordinating the event for the day. I hope you have enjoyed the yesterday's session. So welcome back. For today's session, our topic for the day is use of emerging technologies in legal practice and arbitration. And our speaker for the day is Mr. Haresh Jani. Haresh Jani is a fellow member of the Institute of Company Secretaries since 2003. He completed his company secretary course in 1988. He is founder and partner of Messrs. Haresh Jani and Associates and Univen Advisory LLP. He is also holding a degree in bachelor's degree in law and commerce. Mr. Jani is over 30 years of qualification experience, and his field of practice include advising and mentoring of businessmen, strategizing and planning corporate events, restructuring, corporate fundraising, and various other domains. Over the past few years, he has diversified his practice into startup advisory with particularly focus on technology startups. He is also actively involved in spreading awareness and educating about emerging technologies and its various uses. He is also actively associated with the Association for Emerging Technologies, which is a non-profit organization. He has been a faculty at ICSI's National Conference of PCC held at Bangalore, and he had given a presentation on artificial intelligence vis-a-vis role of CS. He has delivered lectures at various ICSI and ICSI chapters, Indian merchant chambers, various professional firms on the topic of AI, ML, big data analytics, legal technologies, and etc. This is a brief about Mr. Haresh Jani. I would like to invite Mr. Haresh sir for the today's session. Over to you, sir, now.
Yes. Thank you very much, Aminji. And good morning, everybody. I have already been introduced. Now, at the outset, I will thank WRC of ICSI for inviting me and giving the opportunity to put my views in this connection, in the connection of emerging technologies and its use in legal and legal practice and arbitration. In fact, arbitration is also a part of the legal technology, legal practice. And broadly, legal practice includes so many things like our taxation practice or company law practice is also a legal practice. So that way, I'm going to consider it in totality, not legal practice restricted to the view of lawyers only. Today, now the world is undergoing through pandemic of Corona, COVID-19 pandemic, and everybody was for months and months under a severe lockdown imposed by authorities globally. And now, with a little bit ease of restrictions by authority, people have started communicating and attending to their work. But in the in-between period, they realize what is the importance of technology. Prior to that, in February last, when I attended I was a speaker at the program held by ICSI and chapters and IMC, Indian Merchant Chamber. We were discussing about how fast the Industrial Revolution 4, which is covered by emergence and implementation of new age technologies like artificial intelligence, blockchain, API, and big data analytics, etc. That time we were just talking about that, but we were saying these are all the hype stage and now adoption stage will start. But in the 6 to 8 months of this strict lockdown period world over, such things have happened. People really instantly realize the importance of technology and how to adopt it fast will be useful for public to continue in such a situation. That's why the rate of adopting the technology has become very fast. That has now become very important for all of us to, as a professional, also to know that what are various technologies available and how we can embrace that, learn it, and apply in our professional practice. So while sitting at home, if we can do everything, there is no need to go out and commute and like that. So considering all this, today's program is a very appropriate from our practice point of view as well as our professional point of view.
सर आपका स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं है सर?
पीपीटी नहीं दिख रही है?
नहीं सर, आपने स्टॉप किया था ना सर?
हाँ, अब शेयर हो रहा है?
अरे आपने एक अपना, रुकिए मैं वापस आपको ऑप्शन देता हूँ, 2 मिनट चालू रुकिए। आपको ऑप्शन दिया आपको मैंने।
हाँ,
कैमरा बंद कर दिया आपने ना? शेयर में स्क्रीन करिए।
शो माय स्क्रीन।
हाँ सर, अभी आ गया सर।
आया ना?
हाँ हाँ अभी।
So I will just go off video now, so that entire PPT view can be okay. So that's why today's topic, emerging technology in legal practice and arbitration, looks more appropriate. Now let us see what is the scenario as on today. Globally, in this time of crisis of global pandemic, those who are able to survive will survive forever, and those who are not able to survive and carry on their activities will perish. So adoption of technology has become a very much important point. And now the entire scenario of professional practice is going to change post-corona period, which it is not certainly going to be like this what it was in pre-corona period. So the clients now, they are going to become a buyer, and they will be asking us with what they want, and we have to adopt ourselves in our practice area in the exactly the same way in which they want. And we do not have choice, otherwise we may not continue with the same client, because there are various emerging people coming into our service providing, whether they are be professional or not, but they are going to come and enter, like we have seen various technology platforms already entering and providing legal, accounting, company secretarial, company law compliance, various practices through online legal platforms. With this background, now let us go to the presentation. It's a disclaimer that whatever I am going to show is just for information purposes and education purposes, and not intended to be as any advice. Plus all the platforms referred to or whatever their claims I am going to explain is not exactly the claim I am endorsing as a professional or advising for that use of that. And anybody who want to utilize that, they may try themselves and take a proper advice from professional or technicians whether it is suitable to them or not. All images and logos, trade names, trademarks, brands, etc., which are shown in this presentation are belonging, may be subject to copyright and other permissions and protected under various IP laws of India and overseas. So as I was saying, that industrial revolution we were talking about prior to beginning of corona period in last February, March. So thereafter, that was the industry 4. Some experts, technological experts, say that now industry 5th has already started. How industrial revolutions evolved, I will just describe in brief. First industrial revolution was the industrial revolution characterized by steam power invention, and that was being applied in various manufacturing factories, etc. Thereby production and factory system started. Then in second industrial revolution, power was invented and power-driven, electricity-driven factories and manufacturing and other facilities started. In third industrial revolution, electronics, computer, gadgets, internet were invented, and using that, focus was more on the electronic and internet related, then e-commerce and everything started. Now in fourth industrial revolution, it is characterized by the emergence of intelligent and technologies like artificial intelligence, big data analytics, robotic process automation, blockchain, etc. And that in fourth industrial revolution, people were just having a hype how artificial intelligence can overcome the human being, their operations, how blockchain can be useful and what it can provide. But actual applicability was not there. Now in the in-between period, in this COVID-19 pandemic, people have realized and they have started fast embracing the technology. So fifth industrial revolution is now overlapping the fourth industrial revolution. Now let us see which are the emerging technologies. Yesterday's speaker, Mr. Vikram Pandya, has already discussed at length about all these emerging technologies, so I will not go into depth, just have a quick recap on this. First is artificial intelligence, AI. Artificial intelligence is a very wide umbrella. Beneath that comes machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, etc. technologies which are part and parcel of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is the ability of a computer software machine to mimic the intelligence behavior of human being and execute things in a way the human being can do. Blockchain is a transaction recording in blocks which are interconnected with chain which is cryptographed, and the data stored cannot be immuted and permanently it is bearing a timestamp. Big data is itself is not a technology. Big data is a generation of huge volume of data in today's world through various use of various technological instruments, gadgets, sensors, etc. Social media platforms, YouTube type video platforms, etc. And that data generated, how we can have an insight by analyzing it. That is a technology. So big data analysis is a technology. Then we come to robotic process automation, or RPA. RPA is a automation of various small repetitive processes which helps in automation of the entire business operations. Then on right hand side there is a API, that is application program interface. Application program interface is a toolkit or which are helping interconnecting between two platforms or two any applications. Like say for example, there is a restaurant. You are sitting in a restaurant on a second floor and kitchen is on a ground floor or in a mezzanine. So when you want to order, waiter will come, you will dictate your order, and then waiter will go down to the mezzanine floor or in the kitchen and will convey your order. Then again when the order is ready, waiter will come and serve to you at your second floor where you are sitting. So application program does like this. To give a concrete example, let us take an example of makemytrip.com. This is a platform in which you can book your tickets. You can for a hotel, you can book for hotel, you can book railway tickets, airline tickets, etc. But does that platform contains every data from very much updated every time of what you want? When you just log in, you say I want to go to Chandigarh by flight. You want to want the details of availability of various airlines which are going to Chandigarh, various flights, which time they are going in the time slot, what is the minimum ticket rate available, what is the maximum ticket rate available in the flying time you want to go. Then you want to book a hotel at a particular location. So all this data they are not having. They are using API to integrate with the various hotels platform and or various airlines platform, and they obtain data as per your requirement. So that is the use of API. Then comes IoT. IoT are the connected sensors which connects various things or nowadays living being also. So IoT are sensor like in smart fridge, smart television, etc. Everywhere there is a IoT which are interconnected or on the net, and they collect the data and transmit the data to the centralized data location. Then there is a VR, AR, VR, augmented reality, virtual reality. Augmented reality is the where you can in the real world in your gadgets like a mobile, you can see something and augment in the your real world. For example, say you have got a small sofa set, you have gone to furniture house and you have got a sofa set. You take a picture, use AI in your mobile phone and try to put it in your hole and see if in this corner of the hole there is a sofa set, how it will fit and how it will look like that. So that is called AR, augmented reality. Virtual reality is you are going to that virtual world yourself. That is like with wearing the gadget over your eyes, and you feel you have gone into that world itself, and you get lost there. Then there is a mixed reality, which shows mixing of both AR and VR, and you are in totally different world with the gadgets in your hand. You can interfere with that whatever objects you want, as well as you are in that world also. Then there is a regulatory technology. Regulatory technologies are the technologies which are having RegTech and SupTech, two parts. RegTech is a regulatory technology where the people who are required to comply, businesses, organizations who have to comply with, are using this technology to comply. Like we are filing forms for income tax department, GST, and so we are using that RegTech, MCA. But the other side of the regulatory authority, when they are using the technology, so they are it is called SupTech. They like RBI, when we file the form FCGPR and others, that time it is they are pulling your data and they are supervising you based on that data. So it is called a SupTech. It is supervisory technology. One more aspect is that nowadays there is nothing like that AI can work in isolation and big data can work in isolation, big data analytics. So all the technologies are converging with each other and creating the use cases for us, applications for us. So how it is being used in legal tech world, we have to see, because you know almost every industry and every business operations are affected very heavily with these new age technologies. We professionals cater to whether as a chartered accountant, company secretaries, lawyers, we cater to all the industry and businesses. They are our clients. So what they demand, we have to give. Once they are accustomed to use the technologies in their other operations of the businesses, they will definitely expect us also to have providing our services by using technology, which will give them consumer experience, customer experience. This customer experience, when we go to outside and we see, when we go for car buying, from we go to showroom and realize, ये showroom में बहुत अच्छा experience मिला, like that they will also feel. And there is ease of execution also, that also is expected by our clients from us. So how we can as a professional be ready by embracing the technology and use in our profession, that we have to see. Now coming to the artificial intelligence, this is a very just short introduction that how it has evolved. Artificial intelligence is one of the main technology which is being hyped as well as being used in a very advanced stage now. So it all started with the World War II. There were in World War II, there were Germany and the NATO allies like USA, UK, France, etc. They were having a NATO alliance, and Germany was having their Enigma core, by which they were able to get the sense of what the NATO alliance was trying to do in their attack by their strategies. So using that, they used to decode using their Enigma core, and also using Enigma core, they used to give instruction to their militaries like Air Force and Navy, even military, that what can be the next strategy. But alliance force was not able to decode it. So thereby their scientist team, after a long hard work, could break through and came to know. So that was the first emergence of intelligence, computer intelligence, software intelligence. Next came a boom period from 1950 to 1960s. First AI boom was there. So AI is not the recent age technology, which I am trying to point out. Right from 1950, World War II time it emerged, and then between 1950 to 1960, it was a first boom of AI, where it was characterized by prototype AI development and age of reasoning started. Then came the winter period. Highest was the 1956, where Dartmouth conference was held in USA, where the scientists all gathered and said that what should we give the name to this technology, which is a reasoning and helping in human-like execution of work or reasoning. So after that conference, it was decided that it should be given the nomenclature of artificial intelligence. So that's why AI, that's how AI came into existence in 1956. Then AI winter came, nothing much progress was seen. In 1997, with IBM Deep Blue's emergence, again AI came into picture. Then between 1980s to 1990s, there was a second AI boom. in the age of knowledge representation and appearance of expert systems capable of producing human decision making to some extent, not like today. That was the age when even internet came into force and slowly the e-commerce platform started. Then again AI winter came, nothing much developed, and suddenly there was a spot in 2017 where DeepMind's AlphaGo beat the European and world champions in game Go. Chess champion Kasparov was defeated by the chess AI. So that's how the evolution of AI has come, and now AI has become the way of life to some extent. There are subsets of AI, artificial intelligence. Let us examine that. This is very much relevant to our legal technology. Artificial intelligence has a subset, machine learning. Machine learning is that with given data, machine learns itself without proper programming. So based on past data, it may find out pattern and then it takes its own decision. While deep learning is like human brain, where we have got a neuron. So like our neuron, deep learning also get a sensing of itself, and it thinks and find out how to do some new thing. It itself finds new ways of doing things. So that is deep learning. So because I am just not going into deep of any technology, just going upper se. Now let us go to the understand big data. So what is data? Data is anything about anything, news, information about anything. And what is big data? Means huge volume of data which cannot be managed through our normal computer system, which requires a specific computer and technology systems. And what is big data analytics is all this big data collected, how it is generated. There are various sources of big data. You can see on the right hand side, like website data generated. Many things are available on website. We post various things on social media. We upload every minute videos and photos on social media as well as on YouTube like platforms. We whatever purchasing and selling is done on the e-commerce platforms. There are third-party data, sensors and smart devices collect data. So all this data collects and gathers, it becomes a big data. Big data has four characteristics. That is volume, variety, veracity, and velocity. So huge volume is one of the characteristics. There are variety of data from various sources, as I said, as other characteristics. Veracity and velocity is a various variety and the speed at which the data is used and generated. So big data has various challenges. Now let us just understand that how big is a big data. So now the data generated by us is so big that it is many times more than what it was right from the civilization of human being. The total amount of data created, captured, copied, and consumed in the world is forecast to increase rapidly, reaching 59 zettabyte in 2020, according to IDC prediction. That is, by 2025, the world's data will grow to 175 zettabytes. To see in the perspective, if you attempted to download 1745 zettabyte at the average current internet connection speed, it would take 1.8 billion years to download. And there are about 500 million tweets being every day, 2.4 billion emails are sent every day. Internet users generate 2.5 quintillion bytes of data every day. Like that, huge big data is being generated. So there is a big challenge how to you structure this big data. These all are unstructured data, and how to use. So there is a technology of big data analytics which came into existence, and using this big data by structuring it using various technology, and then how to get insight and make useful them. So that is AI where it plays, providing us a pattern and insights and doing forecasting. So how it can be used in legal industry, we will see. Now what I was saying earlier, that we all are also doing something legal. So legal service itself is a very broad perspective. The main new area emerging as a legal service providers, alternate legal service providers, reason is that legal industry has been very old globally. In UK and like that countries, legal industry is almost 5 centuries old. And considering the present rate of adoption of technology, otherwise industry wise and business world over, legal industry has not much developed. So as I said, business and industry, as they are using technologies in a big way, they have started expecting consumer experience with the use of technology, even in legal industry. So those who are not able to meet will lose the business. As a result, a special class of alternate legal service providers or paralegal has emerged. There has been an interesting survey by ENY twice in 2017 and 2019. ENY took over the business called Pengia 3 of Thomson Reuters. That was a legal service providing business, LPO. And at that time they did survey, and their earlier survey of 2017 was there, based on which it was concluded that it can be concluded that legal service providers, particularly Big Four, has been capturing this legal service other than even professional auditing, accounting, income tax like that, even pure legal services like contract drafting, advising, and other legal services. Now they are employing lawyers also. So and providing pure legal services through their legal firm, affiliated legal firms. So this service was, they have kept a sizable market, and we chartered accountant company secretary already doing legal service in GST, income tax, company law, etc. That is also part of a legal service. So how this technology can be used in legal service, we'll examine now. This is one of the big scope for us. This is the size and scope of LSP market. I am not going into the detail. These are all figures. And when I circulate this PPT, everybody can have a detailed look at that. Another new aspect of the technology is a emergence of cloud computing technology. Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, and Google are the three main players in cloud computing. Cloud computing, how it is useful, we can see that it provides us everything as a service. On left hand side, you will observe on the below, cloud service models are there. On premises, there can be means our hardware we are having on our premises, our software on our premises. There are models like IaaS, that is infrastructure as a service, where hardware they provide us, PaaS, platform as a service they provide us, and software as a service they provide us. We should have only one node to operate. This allows us to expand and contract our requirement as per our requirement of utility, like in year ending, post filing of balance sheet, filing income tax returns, etc. We have a very heavy load. We may need temporarily 10-15 people to expand our activity. That time we can have all this extension and temporarily on a rent, and to pay that as much as you use and as much long as you use basis, and then again you can discontinue that services. So that is a flexibility we are getting as a from the cloud computing technology. There are various types of cloud: public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud. Their benefits are faster time of adoption. They are innovative various ways. Their latest technology we can adopt. They are responsive very fast, and lower capital expenses it is required by the user like us. Now let me explain in a very brief way how machine learning model works. It is a subset of AI. Say machine is taught with various models and images, like this is car, this is not car, how it goes. So all images are fed, huge number of images. So various aspects from front side, back side, how the car looks. So machine based on that data, as I was talking about the data, machine will analyze the pattern from it and will come to know, machine will learn that this is called car. It will have this type of various appearances from front side and back. So it will realize it is car. Then if it is so the truck, and you ask it, is it a car? It will say it is not car. You show bike, it will say it is not car. Like that, it will realize two-wheeler, three-wheeler, and will learn to differentiate. Just giving a simple example how it can be used. Say for example, toll plaza, where all these are vehicles passing through toll plaza are subject to toll tax if it crosses through. In toll plaza, there are CCTVs installed, and if they are connected with a machine, they will come to know how it is being, how many vehicles have passed and how it is. So I will show you small video that how the vehicles are passing and being counted through machine learning process. These are image recognition cameras counting vehicles passing through, coming in and going out. See the counter below, you will come to know. This one car is gone. Counter shows how many lorry, how many cars. 2 cars have gone, 3 cars have gone. Now one bus is coming. See how camera will identify. One heavy bus vehicle is gone. Now total car 6 has gone. So the computer vision is a separate computer technology assisted by AI. It's a understanding which vehicle is going, and then if it is again fed with the data, as I said, data, big data technology, that how many vehicles have passed, what is the rate of a toll per vehicle, say for example 150 rupees for a car, 250 rupees for a heavy truck, 200 rupees for a small truck or bus, like that. So at the end of one shift at the toll counter, it will automatically come to know that what is the toll collection should be, and that collection can be cross-checked with the collection made by the person sitting at the toll plaza. So that's why work becomes very easy and control can be maintained. Machine learning has got various steps. One second. So on the right hand side, various steps are shown. In machine learning, data collection is the first, which are very raw and unstructured data. We have to then prepare the data, means make it structure. Like we get a data of 3,000 vehicles. It's a unstructured data, raw data. But then when we structure it, we prepare it, so many cars, so many scooters, lorries, buses, etc. Then it is a structured data. Then we are choosing a model that how it should be treated of, and then train, like per car this is the rate, per heavy vehicle this is the rate, per light vehicle this is the rate, etc. Then we find out the reason. Actually I am getting this covered by right side on the screen. How to close, I don't know. I'm not able to see full. One minute. Hello. Hello. Yes, now I am audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, one minute. There was some problem with the entire panel being on my screen. That's why I have to unmute and start. So we were talking about the various steps in machine learning. This is a physical machine learning process, which is to be done by making computer data scientists sitting and doing the process, it becomes very costly. And because of the very high cost involved, it was not being affordable by small and medium-sized businesses. Thereafter, in 2017-18 somewhere, Google came out with auto machine learning. As a result, all these steps were abolished. You just simply put the structured data and you get the immediately output. There is no need to train the data and again check the parameter of the various standards to fix whether the machine learning output is meeting with the requirement or not. And you can start straight away put the machine learning outcome by for each utilization. Now this AutoML emergence has been later on adopted by various other technology big tech companies also. So there arose a problem. It started being used in a big way in Europe and USA and other developed countries. Then problem came that what decisions have been made through machine learning process and how it has been made. So question came about the responsibility. Say for example, here in this case, we take an example of loan sanctioning. In loan sanctioning process through machine learning in a big finance company where daily thousands and thousands of loan applications are coming, from individuals, corporate, etc. And various parameters are set for the eligibility of the loan. Say if an individual applying for personal loan or home loan, then what are the maximum limit based on his earning, his spouse earning. If he has got children, they are major in earning, then what will be the criteria, what responsibility he has got other EMIs, etc., etc. So based on that machine learning process automatically sanctions the sanctionable limit. But the officer in charge of passing that limit doesn't know on what criteria finally how the limit has been sanctioned. There may be some exemption also which have been determined by the machine learning process, and AI has sanctioned the limit, different limit to different persons with the same salary also. Tomorrow if something goes wrong, loan has become bad, and the authority like RBI questions the person sanctioning the loan, how come you gave him this sanction, you concession, then how he will be able to know what has happened and on what basis decision was taken? He is without any answer, he cannot explain. So the concept of explainable AI came. This explainable AI will be applicable everywhere. We will see in subsequent slides where we will see the use of this use of machine learning and automatic decision making process in legal also, like how the judges give order automatically like that. So how the process has determined, this machine learning has determined, or artificial intelligence has determined that this has to be done like this, or this is the limit of loan sanction. So for that there is a concept of explainable AI. Explainable AI parallelly processes the machine learning's decision making process, and it comes out with the conclusion and gives the insight based on the parameters. These are the parameters on which this concession was given, and this much higher limit was sanctioned to this person for the loan. So that the officer sanction will come to know that there are two loan applications being sanctioned, both are having the same income, both are from the salary circle, having salary income only with the same type of family and other criteria, but then also one person is having higher loan eligibility and the other is having a lower eligibility. That is why he can explain. So this is explainable AI which comes in handy. So we can know machine decision making process. Now this is another application of emerging trend technologies in artificial intelligence. Let us see a small video, then I will explain on it.
Look at these images. Now tell me which Obama here.
There are 4 Obama
to help families
calling on
refinance their
video.
homes, to invest in things like high-tech manufacturing, clean energy, and the infrastructure that creates good new jobs.
Anyone? The answer is none of them.
So this is called a fake news or a fake video. So this is a sentence by Obama himself after seeing his own fake videos on net when he was just exiting as a president, that we are entering an era in which our enemies can make anyone say anything at any point of time. So everything can be created fake, like human faces, then news items, fake biodata of a person. Every fake thing can be created using artificial intelligence. That is the capacity. I don't know whether yesterday's speaker has shown it or not. There are website called thispersondoesnotexist.com, on which this is a technology called generative adversarial network, in short GAN, GAN. So which is fed with, as I told you, big data is fed, and then the pattern can be recognized by the artificial intelligence through deep learning process. Same way, millions and millions of faces captured through our all social media and wherever we are making post, uploading and making available to public, that all are taken and used for training to the machines called generative adversarial network. This system then based on that images about the human being, how face can be, and then start creating every few seconds it creates a new face which looks like almost any natural person, but nobody can make out that it is not a living person, it's a fake person. So this type of faces creation has later on developed into creating fake human beings live video. There has been a video circulating in social media showing that Mona Lisa is talking, Mona Lisa is acting in certain behavior like that. So all these technology are useful also as well as are harmful also, depending upon if unscrupulous elements can get hold of it, and that is always there. So what is this process in which this is called generative adversarial network? Means there are two deep learning technologies working parallelly. One based on the data creates an image, the other says comparing with the original says it is not clear, try to improve more, which you can see in the below. And based on this recommendation by the adversarial network, the fake creator creates a more and more perfect. So this is the process. We will not go into the technologically, but we'll see the applications. Like we see in the last few months that in Air Force, due to espionage by our enemy countries, some people were trying to capture data unauthorizedly and were arrested. In Navy also last year, a few people were arrested. All this news comes and they are being honey trapped and captured using this type on social media, using this type of fake faces. Even resume can be created fake. There is a website called thisresumedoesn'texist.com, which constantly creates new resume. You mention the requirement and it will create a resume like that. So what the unscrupulous elements are doing, they try to trap people from whom they want to extract information. This can be used also by rivalry corporates in corporate espionage. Suppose your competitor is you develop one new technology through which you can capture the entire market, and head of that division is a very important person, a key personnel on whom the entire division's success or your company's success depends, and your competitor is trying to capture him, want to know what is actually going on in your organization. They may create a very big good portfolio requirement. They will say they are representing multinational company on social media or appointing website, and will try to contact that person through social media of that website, and will say we are appointed by a multinational US or like that, and there is a huge prospects for the person who selected. These are the requirements. We learned that you are also having similar requirements. What you are doing, what are your projects you are undertaking, all the information can be taken from him, and later on it will turn out to be a entirely false thing and fake thing, but the information will be leaked like that. Now the other topic of technology highlighted is a digital twin. Digital twin has a multiple applications. Few months back, mostly December end, there was a news that American Air Force tested a 6th generation fighter aircraft. Here below in second picture, BAE system uses a digital twin in development of a Tempest fighter jet. At present, American F-35 is only successful 5th generation fighter aircraft, which they developed for more than a decade times. and just hardly it has been now put in use, and NATO countries have been also given for usage. They are being given still. Though suddenly the news appeared that 6th generation fighter has been tested. That also has been, they said they have tested. So how come this development has come and the fighter plane, new generation fighter plane has become airworthy so fast? It requires the decades and decades for development. Let us talk about the Tejas aircraft. It took about 3 decades to develop, and now it is these are being inducted in our Air Force. So how this can happen? Everybody, or defense enthusiasts and defense scientists were in thought. Same way, there was a news last year that 2 Boeing 737 MAX faced with a accident and deadly crashes, and because of that hundreds of people died, and US authority immediately ordered for grounding all these planes. And in a few months or like that, Boeing came out with a solution, and again that planes were permitted to be started. So all this news suggests there is something going on. This is called a digital twin technology, which has made it possible. It's a very recent origin. Although earlier in 73, first time NASA has used it for Apollo Chandrayaan, for Apollo moon mission, where they created a physical twin and tested this environment of moon and how it will impact when the there is a landing, and how the astronauts will have feeling in the moon atmosphere. That was all tested, but now that was physical creation, and it took a very long time to realize. But now with this digital twin technology, digital replica is created of a physical existing thing. Now it is possible for creating a digital thing, replica of human being also. It contains every attributes same way which a real physical thing is having. Let us take an example of auto sector. You can see on the right hand side, a person is making some design of a Volkswagen car in the Volkswagen factory. Volkswagen is using digital twin in designing and developing car in a very big way. Let us take an example of in India, one Fiat Source diesel engine, DDIS, was being used by various companies like Tata Motors, Maruti for their diesel cars. Same engine was being used in Swift car. The same engine they started using in a Ertiga model when they introduced. So how fast it can be used, how the using digital twin it could have been developed. When you want to develop a new car, you have to do so many test runs on the road. While running the car, you will find that no, it is not running properly. Company like Maruti has got that criteria, kitna deti hai, they want a maximum mileage. Then company catering to car enthusiastic like Honda or Volkswagen may say higher accelerator and ride experience is required. They want a different criteria. How all this can be achieved? So the solution is being found in the digital twin technology. You create a digital replica of the engine and of the car model with all accessories, everything, putting a sensor on the physical version. Then it captures all the data. This data is also big data. Various aspects, minutely aspects, all aspects are collected, and a digital twin is created in the same way the physical model is there. It will behave in the same way. So it will give effect like you put a DDS car in Maruti Ertiga. Now Maruti want to do it test drive for hours and hours. That can be done in the factory. Their engineer will realize, he will say, no, it is not giving that required margin as per Maruti standard. They will retune the engine digitally only, and we try to set parameters. Then they realize no, acceleration बहुत खराब हो गया, they will increase the acceleration. All these parameters can be set, and the final model will be arrived at, and then it will be make a run on the road. So why this thing, entire process of testing and making verification in physical models is getting reduced, and time is and cost is being saved very much. So this is a very useful technology in production and everything. Now let us see how in compliance it is useful. In compliance, there are various laws prescribed, like say for automation, there are safety standards, there are pollution control standards. As you people may be aware that there was prevailing 2 years back, 3 years back, BS4 Bharat Standard 4 Star. Then European Union and America came out with a higher pollution control standards. Then our government also, to cope up with that standard, suddenly declared that we will not go for Bharat 5 standard, we will go straight away for Bharat 6 standard for pollution control. So engines have to be retuned or made totally new, particularly in diesel. So all this can be achieved very easily with cost in a cost efficient manner using this technology, digital twin. This has been done in Europe in a big way. Now let us see other uses. There are various uses in regulatory compliance. As I said, safety standard for aeroplanes, it can be done. So all these are regulatory compliances. Then smart asset management, which allows smart utilities to better manage assets like distributed energy resources. This can be done, used in windmill farms, where you can put a sensors, create a digital twin of entire windmill farm, and find out if there is a problem with a particular windmill, and you can go and repair it. So it permits maintenance. Now look at the three images above. The very left hand side, there is a bridge in Cambridge, UK, which is as it is, constructed for many years. London and other cities in UK has got a problem because they have got ancient culture. Hundreds of years old cities are there. They have got very old bridges, very old sewage system and railway systems all. So all these have got a problem of maintenance and upkeepment with now new heavy traffic. So how this can be achieved? So preventive maintenance, product development, safety, and all this can be achieved using digital twin. In this left hand side photo is the existing photo of the bridge. It is very old bridge, just painted. So they, with using laser technology as indicated in the in between middle image, they do mapping of the entire bridge and send their data to digital twin model. Then in right hand side, you can see the point cloud was then used to create geometrical digital twin. Image is courtesy of the reading who has created this. The authority is written, and we acknowledge their with courtesy their contribution for our this presentation also. So this bridge image is created in a digital twin. Now by verifying with the sensors data capture, every point they can realize which part is getting weak, where there is a repair and maintenance required to upkeep the bridge so that no casualty can occur. So this is a very much use of this technology. In fact, now in Britain there is a demand, and it has been suggested and being implemented that entire London should be, entire UK should be brought under the digital twin. Singapore is already having a digital twin of the entire city, so entire city's movement, maintenance can be maintained and controlled by the authorities. They require where preventive maintenance is required for any infrastructure, sewerage, lighting, and other facilities. So these all are the use cases of digital twin. Now we come to various use of technologies, AI based and NLP based. NLP is a very much main technology being used in documentation and human language. Natural language processing is the computer processing our human beings' language into their coding. So that is called natural language processing. NLP has a main two subsets, NLU and NLG. NLU is a natural language understanding. When we say to Siri or Alexa, it is AI power. Alexa, do this. Alexa receives our voice and understands what we have said. It then transforms it into the digit and pass on the message what we have said to its data center. Their AI processing gets doing big data analytics to the data center, and whatever we ask for, it picks up. We say, Alexa, play this song. Alexa will go to Prime Video's this center, data center. It will search for that song and will come back with that song and play on the Alexa. Then you can listen it. So this is where, and when the Alexa will say, now I am playing this song as required by you, then Alexa is talking to us. It is generating the language, voice. So it comes in the code form, then Alexa generates in a human voice, and we understand what Alexa is saying. So this is called NLP. Branches are NLU and NLG in short. Now let us see chatbots. What are chatbots? Chatbots are a NLP based artificial intelligence utility. As I told about customers experience to our clients, nowadays clients, our services are also becoming business with a particularly entry of alternate legal service providers. There are no boundary going to remain in the time to come, although we may say chartered accountants profession is protected by doing statutory audits, and company secretaries are protected by certain requirements, lawyers are protected by certain requirements by Advocate Act and like that, but the boundaries are slowly going to diminish or totally get removed. As we see more and more technology platforms are coming and interfering in doing business, what we do. They may hire a chartered accountants, company secretary and lawyer, but they can get things done using technologies in a better way, giving better user experience, and also in a cost effective and fast and efficient manner. So we need to embrace these technologies. So chatbot is one of the prime technology being used. What is chatbot? Is a artificial machine learning base. Sometimes it is learning using deep learning also, in depending upon the chatbot. We'll come to that also. So chatbots in a normal way, when you go to any bank's website or a social media platform, you will see pop-up saying, may I help you? That is a chatbot. Okay, but sometimes in bank's website, insurance company website, my experience is that it's not understanding maximum thing what we ask for and give some other reply which we don't want. It is not a good customer experience. Chatbots are supposed to ask customers in guiding through what they want, giving them good customers experience. Same way, our customers in our profession, our clients, should also get a good customer experience. Imagine as a chartered accountant, when you are very busy in drafting something or doing some audit and other things, suddenly frequently calls comes to you from one or the other clients and ask you, अरे भाई ये प्रोविजन का ऐसा है, मैं ये करता हूँ तो ये एग्जाम्प्ट होगा क्या, ये कब तक फाइल करूँ, थोड़ा लेट होगा तो चलेगा क्या, आपके वहाँ प्रोविजन है. So many questions to face, and your lot of time is being wasted in a telephone talk or giving answers. These all are repetitive mundane things which can be avoided by using chatbot if you properly deploy such type of chatbot. So what can be done? We can develop our own chatbots, giving such type of frequently asked questions to replying frequently asked questions to our clients, and they can also get a very good experience. Imagine you have got a chatbot which is deployed on a platform or your website, and your client or MD of some your corporate client company or their legal CFO or some people who is in charge or interacting with you can experience just by typing on his mobile and get a question, right answer on the question of that. How good he will feel. अरे क्या facility दी इन्होंने, मुझे कुछ phone भी नहीं करना पड़ता, just by click of a button I get the information what I want. So this is a good customer experience. How is a professional we can utilize? In foreign companies there are various chatbots based, legal chatbots based. Here one is a second from the left is a do not pay. Two circles are type infinity type sign is there, do not pay. Do not pay is a website which assist in overseas some countries where you do parking violation and you are ticketed by the traffic police or authority, you are charged. That time do not pay is a chatbot can assist you. So you need not pay the thing, fine charges, and you fill the forms on the chatbot. It will create the legal process for you. It will get filed and you will get the result. So you may not have to pay if you are not at fault, and you need not go to court where like which we have to do sometime when traffic police catches us for wrong parking or like that. So all the circumstances others are created in the chatbot in a questionnaire form. Whatever questions they are there, you just fill it and you will get form generated, your application will be filed, you just pay some small amount, they have fixed, and that's why these are access to justice made very simple. Earlier I missed because of that some problem with the PPT and interface. Access to justice is a new concept now being raised. See, world over legal cases are piling, particularly in India and Brazil. It's a huge volume. Most of the courts nowadays are facing this huge problem of being crumbling under the huge number of cases. Experts estimate even all the judges of our courts sit 365 days 24/7. Then also all the cases will take decades of number of years to clear it, which is actually impossible. And then also in the meantime number of cases will again pile up. So use of technology in legal services and justice, that is called judiciary technology, are required. In this connection I will also tell that since last 1 year, last December or so, our Honorable Chief Justice S.A. Bobde has advocated on two, three occasions, one in Delhi Bar Council, at a FICCI's 1 year, and recommend that AI and online courts should be used. Arbitration should be given push very big way so that judiciary can get relief from this and people can get fast access to justice. So how that can be done using technology, we will see later on. So I was on a legal chatbot and use of that. In this connection, I would like to show a small demo of a chatbot prepared by me in connection with company law compliances. I have deployed it on a platform where it can be interfaced. It's a Google's machine learning platform on which it is deployed. It is loading. All the FAQs of MCA have been provided as a data set to it. Whatever MCA FAQs are there on Ministry of Corporate website are given to it. It's on Telegram. It's taking some time to load. It has come. Now let me show you a few demos. Earlier data is already there. Which question answer format? I am asking how to form a private company. If some client want to know, you say I'm busy, just refer my chatbot. What answer it will give? See, it gives the entire process to the client. To form a private limited company, a minimum of 2 adult persons are required to act as a directors of the company and can go up to a maximum of 15 directors. One of the directors of a private limited company has to be an Indian citizen, an Indian resident, and the other directors can be a foreign national. Also, a minimum of 2 shareholders are required for incorporating a private limited company. The shareholders can be natural persons or the artificial legal entity. Note that maximum number of members in a private company cannot exceed 200. A private company, all the relevant information it is given, then how to click, how to apply, all the process in short it is explained. So if you provide such an information to your client handy without disturbing you, client can have access to such type of information. Client will be very happy. This is called a customer experience, consumer experience. We feel nowadays very good when we buy on Amazon. So this is a customer experience which we get. It's an interactive chatbot. Like, let me ask you, hi. See here. See, it's interacting. Hi, how are you doing? I am doing fine. What about you? I am your law assistant. Then I can ask him any question. What is an OPC? Means one person company. It says Section 262 of the Companies Act defines a one-person company as a company that has only one person as to its member. Furthermore, members of a company, blah blah blah, already required things it is given. Then I will say, what are the criteria? It's not criteria. What are the threshold for conversion of OPC into a private or public company? In case the paid up capital of an OPC exceeds 50 lakh rupees or its average annual turnover, So the replies it is given. Like this, you have to make it learn. This is a machine learning process. It's a Google's platform where you can utilize and create your own chatbot and make that chatbot train. I've trained it for the maximum number of FAQs given on MCA website so that this can be approached by clients, and so this way we can provide good customer experience to our clients. There are few other websites of chatbots. BillyBot is there, which assists you in various legal matters. It's, I think, Australia, UK based. Then there is a robot lawyer, Lisa, which also assists in small causes and cases and preparation of NDA type agreement also. Now, this is the chatbot. What is the beyond chatbot? In New Zealand, there is a IBM owned a subsidiary called Soul Machines, which works on digital humans. It has already created. Just now in January, consumer electronics exhibition was there, CES 2021, in which Samsung also displayed its digital humans. So digital humans are now coming, which are not on the road, but in your digital world, it will be there. It will be replica of exactly what is your human being like you. Let us see one video of how digital human can be utilized. This is that Soul Machines website. Looks like real human. They have got expressions. They uses through your camera, the computer vision, and AI using camera can feel the feelings of the person, your customer, or you, maybe you, and how you react. If this is using chatbot, what customer experience it can give? It can be used in legal industry also in future, and how it can be, we will discuss later on. So they've got various products: human operating system platform, original digital DNA studio, which is creating entire human brain. There is digital soul, and soul solutions are also there. They have got various industrial applications, commercial applications. They have got in education, they have got a trainer in digital world. Students can get a very good experience of getting learning from teaching from their known teacher if their digital human is created. In few of the foreign banks also, they have put instead of chatbot, they have put this type of digital human to assist. Now we will see one video of how digital human gives customer experience for a person who is going to buy a car, who is looking to buy a car.
Good morning.
Hi there. I'm Rachel.
She is a
Hi, Rachel.
digital human
How's it going?
sales girl for a card,
I'm doing
credit
well.
card in a
Thank
bank.
you. I'm really excited to be here.
She's trying to
My
sell
first
cars.
time in New York City.
Really? Where are you from?
Have you ever heard of a place called the Internet?
I guess I spent some time there.
Well, I've lived there all my life. I'm a creation of soul machines. I can see you and hear you. And what makes me different is that I can respond to your emotions.
She is using emotional AI. She is using
Based
computer
on
vision AI
artificial intelligence.
Wow.
and deep learning
What
module.
brings you here?
I am working with IBM Watson to deliver knowledge across a vast range of topics. My current interest is helping people find the best credit card for them.
Really? I've actually been looking into credit cards recently.
What a coincidence. Really?
Yeah, but it's really overwhelming. You know, there's so many
See
credit cards.
how
out
she will
there,
convince the
so much
customer to buy the
options. I
credit
don't
card
know what
which
to
he
do.
wants, and we'll try to find out.
Shantanu, I completely understand. It can be a lot to figure out. Would you like some help?
Sure. I'm looking for a card with no annual fee, a low APR, and something where I can get the maximum amount of points.
Okay, so you're looking for a points card. I can definitely help. Is this for personal or business use?
Personal use.
And will it be your first card?
No, I actually have a few.
Okay. Do you mind if I ask about your credit score? An estimate could help me narrow down the options for you.
Well, I'm at this audience, but it's 750. Just keep it between you and me.
Excellent. You will have some good options. Since you said you're looking for a low APR, does that mean you typically carry a balance or that you pay it off every month?
I really try to pay it off every month.
All right. I have the perfect card in mind for you. It has no annual fee, an APR of 6.5%, and it comes with triple points on all purchases. How does that sound?
Sounds nice. How do I get started?
Wonderful. I can transfer you to an agent to complete the application. Would you like to do that now?
Yes, please.
Before I do, is there anything else I can help you with, Shantanu?
Oh, you're great. Thanks so much.
I'm so glad to hear that. If you know of anyone else who needs help with this stuff, feel free to send them my way. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
So this is beyond chatbot, what is going to come. It has already started in foreign banks, foreign multinational companies, marketing companies. This experience also we will get in some time to come. Now, this how it can be implemented in our appearance before tribunal or in courts or arbitrations, that we will see later on when we will discuss about the debating AI. Under technology, robotic process automation or RPA. Yesterday's speaker, I understand, has already covered this for various commercial and business uses. I just want to add that RPA main vendors are UiPath, Automation Anywhere, Blue Prism. UiPath has very recently declared that it has also come out with a application of RPA for legal departments and legal practitioners. So in legal services, it helps in, as you know, that robotic process automation helps in automatizing small processes and like that. So with use of this, it can automatically fill our forms of MCA or income tax and other things by finding data of it can also, as you know, with using OCR and AI fabric, which they have introduced. You can see below the logos in blue, AI fabric. It is AI plus RPA. So RPA is automatizing the repetitive task, but AI gives its by data processing, we use data processing of the organization. It gives insights and after finding patterns and gives the idea through insights that what RPA can do. So there is a using AI, RPA and other SEP entire attributes taken together, merged, they have developed hyper automation. Hyper automation makes itself, it analyzes your entire business process and organizational processes, business flow, and suggests which are the areas where even automation can be introduced and can be automatized. In legal department, the same can be implemented. So the process will be like AI capabilities, automated process discovery tools, workforce engagement capability, and advanced analytics. All this taken together running in your SAP type model ERP, it will find out in your entire organization which are the process which are likely to be get automated, and thereby it will reduce. So unless now we as a professional either working in corporate or organize our own organization can embrace all these technologies, we maybe get eliminated, or we may get loss of few clients. So we must learn to adopt the technology in our practice. Now we go to next technology, blockchain. Yesterday it has already been covered in detail, so plain blockchain I will
sir, Jani sir, hello.
Hello. Hello.
हाँ सर बोलिए.
I guess I mean Jani sir has got disconnected.
ओके, चलेगा, फोन करता हूँ उनको. Hello, Jani sir. Hello. Hello, Jani sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir, we can hear you now.
Okay, okay. There must be some problem with net. Another use case of blockchain is a litigation and settlements. Litigation comprises various activities to be done before, during, and after the lawsuits to import. Even in our tribunals, same procedure has to be followed. Very lot of paperwork has to be done. It's also time-consuming process with lot of paperwork. And blockchain can help to reduce time, put everything on the blockchain, digitalize and put everything on the blockchain, thereby bringing transparency and reliability. We need not trust on anybody else for that. Because of potential blockchain is having to maintain immutable and auditable records, neither a plaintiff nor a defendant can manipulate with the legal records, and judge can rely on the blockchain network and assess timestamp records and rely on it and deliver judgment based on that in the disputes between two parties. The judges can submit the verdict on the blockchain, which can be accessed by all the members of the network of the blockchain. Normally, blockchain-based judgments, court processes are being done in China. They are already, to last when I accessed the information, 3 blockchain courts are there: Shanghai, Beijing, and one more city, and they are doing very well since last 3-4 years. Now they once Bangkok Shanghai court has also passed the order that how and with what process blockchain-based evidence we are admissible. Slowly this is going to come in India also, because very recently Niti Aayog has published the blockchain strategy for national blockchain strategy and identified various area and how to go ahead with the blockchain implementation in India. So we have to be prepared with the blockchain technology. There are various use cases of blockchain. These are all not only restricted to legal, but supply chain, health, medical, etc. as given in the slide. When I circulate slide, everybody can go through. On the right hand side, one of that is below IoT is a legal and law enforcement, wills and inheritance, which legal use cases I already explained. Now let us go to smart contracts. These are the built and run on blockchain, these contracts. They are a set of computer protocols or coding in a digital platforms through applications API. They are put on the digital platform, which may incorporate elements of binding contract, and they offer acceptance and other concession attributes of the offer, acceptance and agreement of is required under Indian Contract Act, or may simply execute certain terms of contract. The happening of execution by smart contracts is on the happening of a certain event or upon lapse of a time. Let us take an example of an insurance contract. When a person want to fly from one place to another, city A to city B, particularly for a meeting, and he want to reach there by a particular time, otherwise his visit will go waste and he will incur a loss. He takes an insurance for that. If flight gets late by this beyond this time, then I should get this much compensation. He takes insurance. This type of insurance are available overseas, and after taking this insurance, he flies. So when he flies to there and reaches there, if flight is in time, the smart contracts gets lapsed, it ends, because smart contract is coded like that. Mr. X flying by this flight, reaching time is this, condition is this, that flight should be in time. If late by more than so many minutes, he should get this much amount. He, through cryptocurrency or whatever payment method is available there on the smart contract platform, he makes that payment, and then smart contracts get activated once the insurance company accepts that offer. by putting both digital signature or whatever confirmation method is applicable. Once he reaches there, then if flight is delayed by prescribed time, then how the contract will get activated? There is a requirement. Who will decide that what is the actual time prevailing at that destination, and how the contract should be in execute? Either he should die in favor of insurance company, or he should get a claim. So there is a requirement of somebody confirming that standard time and at what time the flight is arrived. So like our authority here, Director General of Civil Aviation, they in that city also, when that local civil aviation authority confirms that the flight has arrived at this particular time and was late by this many minutes, then automatically capturing that data to that site or platform of the civil aviation authority, smart contract will get activated. Either it will end if the flight is in time, or it will make a payment directly by debiting the escrow account or whatever payment method for debiting the account of insurance company and crediting the person who has taken insurance, the person who is flight. So that way smart contract runs. There are various types of running smart contracts on various types of blockchain platform. Ethereum blockchain is the most popular blockchain to build and run smart contracts because Ethereum has been specifically built for running smart contracts. Various features of smart contract are given. Already yesterday been discussed at length, so I am not touching it. We will now see the legal aspects of smart contracts. The technical is on left hand side, self-verifying, self-executing, and tamper-proof resistant. We already told. Legal aspects are it maps legal obligations into automated process, provides greater contractual security on correct implementation. Economic, there are higher transparency, less intermediaries involved. Sometimes lawyer or other agency like legal assistance may totally be eliminated. This type of platforms are also there. We will see later on. Then lower transaction costs if this is regularly adopted. Both the parties are a little bit knowledgeable to run this. Benefit is autonomous, secure, always accurate, fast performance, cost effectiveness, and interruption free. And one person to the parties to the contract are always assured that yes, once the smart contract is put into action, it is irreversible, cannot be cancelled unless, as per the code, the event or time lapse has been mentioned. That happens, then only it will end. Otherwise, it will not end. And the party on whose the liability comes as per the terms of the contract has to pay because he accounts through escrow or other modes of payment by putting cryptocurrency or fiat money, whatever way to be deposited, payment method prescribed on that platform gets debited to his account, and the account of the other party gets credited or his wallet gets credited. These are the various use cases of smart contracts: record storing, trading activities, supply chains, mortgage, real estate market, employment arrangements, copyright protection, healthcare services, government voting system, which is now being advocated world over on blockchain, insurance claims, and Internet of Things. How these useful are we will discuss later on. In legal, how to use these technologies. Chatbots using NLP, we have already discussed. Then there are legal research, due diligence. These all are attributes of a legal practice. Then document review and management, that is various contracts and agreements can be reviewed and insights of what is there in the agreement can be found out. When there is a M&A arrangement or a takeover or some deal is being made with the other party in big organizations or between two multinationals or giant corporations, lot of agreements which may run into thousands, like lease agreements, are to be scrutinized, and which are the different terms in different lease agreements has to be some small insights have to be provided in a summarized form. So that can be done through document review and management. Then there is a predicting technology, legal outcomes or what behavior can be of the judges, what behavior can be of the opponent's counsel or lawyer, and how our lawyer is good. All this can be decided by predicting technology. This can be used in decision making, even in taxation or takeover bid, or how the decision of say competition commission type authority or SEBI type capital market authority can be done. If we do this, is it possible in past what has happened? If we feed lot of data to the system, it can give prediction to us. We will examine couple of platforms of this practically. Then there is arbitration, dispute resolution, negotiation, and settlement. All this can be done using technologies. That also we'll see. Then legal drafting, automatic contract drafting we'll see. And transaction advisory using platforms. There are platforms for KYC and client onboarding, which I presume yesterday was covered in certain platforms like SignZ. Local and cross-border compliances like now GDPR and CCPA. CCPA is a California Consumer Privacy Act, which is a parallel to GDPR in USA, one state. US is a federation of states, not like our country. So all the federation have got their separate Supreme Court and separate lawmaking authority parliament, which makes their law separately applicable in that state also. So California has been more proactive on consumer protection field, and it has already come out with the Consumer Privacy Act, which is as stringent as the GDPR of Europe. Corporate and capital market law advisory, governance, risk and compliance, that is GR, insider trading. Everywhere we can use this technology and platforms, and they are available. Now we go for compliance and governance. These are part of legal compliance. Normally, legal practitioners doesn't consider compliance as a part of the legal service, because that is not much remunerative, time consuming, and here is a very repetitive actions to be taken, and that's why. So one of the compliances is insider trading under capital market. Other compliances much I am not taking, but from governance perspective, see, using Microsoft one configuration platform, how board meeting can be arranged, or nowadays with all these corona restrictions, non-traveling and other restrictions, we can have a meeting with proper recording and evidence creating in a business meeting also. We'll see one video of 3-4 minutes.
Hey Cortana.
Like Google
Set up a meeting right now.
Alexa, there is a Microsoft Cortana.
To discuss the new project proposal we're creating.
It's a project proposal meeting. Same way can be used for board meeting also.
Where do you want to meet? Find me a conference room with a Surface Hub.
Okay. Team Scrun Room is available now too. Want me to book it?
Yes, please.
Great. You are all set.
What you can see behind me is a common office meeting room, but this one's different. On the desk, we have a prototype device built on similar technologies to the ones we showed you earlier. It picks up both audio and video that you could pair with AI services and Microsoft 365 to help with key tasks like identification, voice transcription, and even real-time translation.
This can help in independent directors meeting also, who participated and how the discussion went on. Record can be created and kept and preserved.
The AI services even identify David Kamal as expected meeting attendees.
With facial recognition, it can recognize who have already attended the meeting.
Good morning, Rana. Would you like to start the meeting?
Yes, please. I know Katie and Julia are coming from another meeting, so let's go ahead and get started. Dave, what's the latest with the smart building pilot?
I've already done some preliminary analysis on the data, and I'm finding some high temperature outliers. We should discuss it later in the meeting.
Okay, sounds great.
Dave, do you know if we'll have enough of the Yanzi?
With high level of NLP, entire transcription is created about the discussion.
About the location of those sensors. We should hold off on doing a one-to-one replacement.
This can be utilized in
I'm really
preparing
sorry
minutes
Dave.
and record keeping of what transpired at the meeting, how decision was arrived at.
I'll follow up with my team and post an update to the channel after the meeting.
And I'll follow up and send Jani an email about those showcase sensors.
Okay, that sounds great.
Now, take a look at the transcript behind me on the left. Even though we were all speaking over each other and the sound environment here is actually pretty challenging, the AI services coupled with the audio and video signals from the device could still accurately identify who was speaking and when. You'll also notice that it picked up our meeting items and listed them on the right. And the voice recognition model has been trained over time to understand our team's unique communication style and recognizes our speech patterns even when we're speaking in business jargon. This not only helps the interactions in the meeting room, but it helps remote participants have a more active meeting experience. Our remote teammate in China
will join remotely.
can hear a translation of this meeting. In fact, we can support multiple simultaneous translations. Hey, Katie. Hey, Julia. Hey. With Microsoft Teams, we can continue this conversation right within the context of the work we're creating together and the business apps we use to stay on top of our project. I can even access great third-party apps like Trello and GitHub. But now Cortana is in this workspace with me, so she can help me stay connected across all my experiences. As you can see here, Cortana has detected that we need to find a time to meet. Instead of me struggling to find time that works for everyone's calendar, Cortana will automatically offer up a few options based on our mutual availability. She'll even carry the context of our conversation forward to the meeting details. And just like that, our meeting is
So this is how board meeting can be arranged, and even remote locations, people can attend from there and give presentation to the board. Board can have a vision of a site where what is going on through screens, and even board members can be given the variables of virtual reality, and they can see it in the big complex projects like Larsen and Toubro's projects going on at various sites, and they can compare what was shown at the last time and what is the progress, and further sanction the budget for the next meeting or next period what is asked for, and they can do this. So how this can be helping corporate governance. Then there is a platform called Broadreach. It helps in conducting remote general meetings. We will not touch that because now this is being started in India also, that company. There is a insider trading platforms in the last row, Compliance 11, Behavox, and Thomson Reuters one platform, Bloomberg's platform. So I will talk about that. Compliance 11 helps in whosoever employee joins and whatever is the data. So CFO of the company or normally chartered accountant company secretaries who are in practice or maybe in corporate head of legal, secretarial and finance head, they have to overlook all this compliance of insider trading and other things. So how that can be complied? It's a short video. We will take some relevant part of it.
The foundation of any compliance program is to have written policies and procedures that are read and understood by all employees. Most companies rely on labor-intensive paper or email-based compliance processes. After going to all the effort to guarantee that policies are read and signed off, at the end of the day, all that compliance departments have is an unmanageable stack of paper or emails. The Compliance 11 Supervisory Suite's Affirmations and Disclosures module automates this process, which allows you to create and distribute affirmations based on your compliance calendar, saves you time and money when soliciting and collecting data, provides you access to the data in a readily accessible database, prepares you for regulatory reviews, and reduces the risk of a compliance violation. Compliance and HR departments are required to administer mandated firm policies and procedures. This includes employees affirming that they have read the policies and procedures and that they agree to abide by them. Additionally,
insider trading code of conduct can be complied by taking declarations from them in digital form.
Thanks to the Compliance 11 Supervisory Suite, you can quickly develop and distribute questionnaires to fulfill this requirement. When you distribute a questionnaire, your Your employees will instantly receive a customized email with a link to log into the system. Once logged in, an employee is given a list of items they need to affirm to. These fall into two specific categories. The first category is a statement or policy that an employee affirms to by clicking the Yes button. If the employee clicks Yes before reading the associated policy, he or she is prompted to read the policy before affirming. The policies are kept on the system and linked to a specific affirmation statement, so the exact policy an employee affirmed to can be reproduced. The second category allows employees to disclose and maintain information, like their personal contact information or their outside business activities. Employees are presented with two buttons, yes and no. If employees have no outside business activities, they click no and they're done. If they have outside business activities, they click yes, and a customized form is presented for employees to complete. Employees can disclose as many outside business activities as needed. After an employee submits a disclosure, it's routed to the appropriate person for review. This could be the employee's manager, a compliance person, or both. A reviewer can approve, deny, reassign the disclosure to another reviewer, or request more information from the employee.
So like this, various technology-based tools are available for compliance and governance. Here there are other platforms like Okta.ai. It provides minutes as a service. There is a MindBridge, OnSpring. All these are helping in compliance and governance. Then now let us go to legal practice. In legal research, there are various platforms. Legal research Indian platforms are there in the second row. Legal practice management software are there, like Lexplosion, third row, Practice League, Locus. There are others like ARIA NLG, most probably this was explained yesterday, natural language generation platform, which generates reports based on data, then Smart Shell and Page Freezer. We will touch up a couple of them in each category. First of all is in the legal practice, this is data analytics and AI, how it being used. Here no blockchain is in use. Here artificial intelligence using lot of data from various data points, collects the data and analyzes it and giving patterns to us. So one foreign firm platform is there, Judicata. We'll check it. Various data points in legal also, there is a big data, like as I said, industry is very old and there are years of history in which cases have happened in different fields. Because of that, various judges in various matters have given different judgments, and that cases citation can help. We will see demo of this Clark platform, introducing Clark using, no? We are taking this demo. Not all the platforms have their own demo, so we have to rely on their product demo video also to understand. That's why few places we are using video. Here we will see the actual platform. This is a totally intelligent platform. Let it get load, I will brief. This is an overall review first given. This platform analyzes based on your brief which you upload to the platform, legal brief, or maybe this may be properly customized for Indian use. It can be for our tribunal in income tax or other tribunals also, like GST or whatever, NCLT. So based on the past cases analysis and whatever we have cited in our brief and how we have argued, it creates our scorecard first of all. So arguments, see in the scorecard, arguments on left hand side, it says analysis says it's a fair. It has given a score of 78 out of 100. Action items are 7. Then drafting is how it is weak. It has given 69 score and action points 2 where drafting is required to be improved. Current context is a strong. 85 score is given and 6 action points are given. So like that, arguments are fair. So what are the arguments are fair? These are data insights are there based on big data collected, based on all cases we have cited. Similar cases are there, all they have collected based on data from database and whatever public data is available. The platform collects everything, analyzes, and gives you insight based on your brief and context of your case. So this is a very big plus point. So case sharing arguments are very strong in this case, which is analyzed. Then which are the cited cases which are very vulnerable or weak, that is given, and how far and what that analysis is given. Now, how is the drafting weight, which para, the breakdown of the quotations are given. Now we see the entire how the brief goes on the platform. This is like the brief. And what is the brief? It is totally analyzed because through OCR, it can entirely read and make the partition through table of authorities, introduction, statement of the facts, the hospital's authorities. These are some place of claim. So all these are given details. Which are the argument of in favor and against and action items are suggested. 3 state law obligations are employer. In report itself, up to context they have given. Then arguments what they have suggested. Review the state law obligations employee, which they have argued is a very weak argument, needs to be revised. Cases sharing of argument. When you go deep dive into argument, then selected argument is plaintiff favorable, and what is defendant favorable argument, you need to change. Why you want to change? Here they have given warning in the case. In your argument, you have cited this case, daily versus years, and this. What is the warning they have given? This has been disagreed in past in particular case. So you did not cite this argument in your matter. So much context it can make out and give suggestion in improvement. Same way here in this particular case was disapproved in part. This is a plaintiff favorable versus here plaintiff has won, here defendant has won. So your argument cited may be defendant favorable, so it was disapproved in part. Here they have given plaintiff favorable question that this was distinguished in particular case in past. There are similar 13 citation cases which we cannot open unless we make a payment. So last cited was on this date in particular case. So all the detailed history, your entire brief is totally analyzed by the AI-based system with the data analytics available to this platform, and you are giving various insights and action points. So this way, the legal practice gets very much help. If this whole analysis we have to do, it is just impossible with lot many our clerks and assistants for doing junior level lawyers or our junior level assistants even in income tax tribunal cases. NCLT cases. So this type of software is we can utilize in India. It is very useful to us. This is one of the best example of the software overseas available and very widely used. Then who are the judges? What are their action items? That all insight they give. Previous context required for judges and other things. Then deep dives, appeal from decisions of so-and-so judge in similar matter, how he has argued and other things also you can do. But there is no prediction about the judge's behavior. That we will see in some different platform when we go to predictive analytics. Then in legal research, Indian platforms we see, Manu Patra is a very famous, everybody knows. This is a platform, Legit Paste, which has been promoted, means initial investor and promoted by Mr. Ram Jethmalani as per claim on their website. There has been a video available on YouTube also for that earlier. As you all know, Ram Jethmalani has been very famous for Supreme Court matters, And this was earlier targeting only Supreme Court cases. Now they have expanded to other cases also. This is an Indian platform. Their demo is not available like this, but a video is there. We will just have a look at the video, how it is going. Very deep technology means legal data. Legal data, as I explained you, through all the data points like legal cases, judges, advocates of the opponent, advocates of us, counsel, and their history, how they succeeded, everything is there. They cited all their plus points, research efficiency, which comes in one click. Results which are relevant to your keyword search can give you, but these are all segregated. It's not comprehensive so much we have seen the overseas platform Judicata. These are all their claims in Supreme Court cases, High Court cases, tribunal. This is also a machine learning process and big data analytics being used. If interested, when I share this, you people can go through and analyze all the platforms. Here we will see their complete platform demo. On left hand side, different part of the products are given. Here we will see the complete product demo.
Hello everyone. This is the product demonstration of legit and cite the text of the judgment as precedent in a court of law. Now, to overcome this issue, headnotes does not have precedent of the judgment, which needs to be, and also it leaves most of the important aspect of the judgment, which needs to be analyzed and.
They got 12 million judgments extra.
Also,
all this data is there, which they are analyzing. They claim.
So at the end, the user has to read, understand, and cite the text of the judgment as precedent in a court of law. Now, to overcome this issue, LegitQuest came out with this revolutionary feature called iDraft, which is the issue, facts, arguments, reasoning, and decision of a case law. Now, apart from iDraft, there are various other great features which makes it different from other online portals, like we have iInfographics, we have notes, and many other advanced features which we will show you in this video. Also, LegitQuest is specially designed to give you a wonderful user experience with the best UI, UX for providing you.
See, nowadays everybody is talking about user experience,
So
that is UX in short.
How research is done.
These all are legal startups.
Finding case laws, as you can see here. This is the citation. So you can see in the citation here, without any bracket or anything, just free text. And you will get the relevant search result.
Here you have to manually find out.
We have the judge name option.
It's not like that Judicata where you just upload your brief and you get everything.
And click on search. Then we have the party name option. You can keep in either the petitioner or the respondent's name, and you will get the relevant search results. Now, apart from party name, we have act name search option, where you can put in the act names in Indian Penal Code and section that you want to research on, say section 302. Now you will get all the cases related to Indian Penal Code section 302. Then we also have the BERAC search option. Say you want to read the Indian Penal Code, you can just select it from the drop down, and the BERAC opens up like this. Now, if there is a particular section that you want to read, you can just simply select it from here, and the system automatically takes you to that particular section. Now, let's see the features which distinguish LegitQuest from other portals. Suppose you want to research on ex debito, you can just scale your words in the search bar. Now, here you can see the filters. These are the Supreme Court, High Court, and Tribunal cases filter option. So if you click on High Court, you get all the High Court cases. If you click on Tribunal, you'll get all the Tribunal cases. This is the filter by bench. This is by year. On this disposition, you get to know whether the case has been allowed, dismissed, or remitted back. we do not want to spend time opening a case and then finding out whether the same has been allowed or not. Now, iDraft has also been introduced in the filter. So in case you want to know the query of X debitor you put in, and you want a case in which the query is in the reasoning of that judgment, you just have to click here. And you will only get those cases where the query is in the reasoning. And it works similarly for facts, arguments, and decisions. The other is filter within result option, which you can see over here. So if there's a word or a phrase that you want to find in these judgments, you simply have to keep in here and just click on the search. Now this filter down the query from the complete list. Then we have a search within case option. Here you can look for.
So here you can see what is the difference between the foreign platform and Indian platform. Lot of things. This is technology being augmented by people, professionals. Their professionals are facilitated so much. Lot of time is saved. This technological high technology level now till it will come, because as you've seen the difference between the digital human type chatbot and the what type of facial recognition and opponents person setting and opposite side to whom the lady was catering digital human as a chatbot and providing services in our chatbot. That type of difference you can feel here. These are all explosion, third row, practice league and locus, all these type of, there are other platforms also. These all are legal practice management platforms, which is particularly tailor-made to cater to the legal practitioners like lawyer firms. So we will not go to that. We will see others practice area like area, which I understand you have already been explained in detail. Just I would like to add that in the legal matters also, wherever any data has to be analyzed and a report to be presented, like before income tax tribunal or before NCLT, analysis of any data, balance sheet has to be given. This can be very useful to legal practitioners and professionals like us. Even before courts, when any entire history of in the data format is there for property and movement and transactions, this legal highly capable platform of ARIA, which is one of the leading in NLG, natural language generation, can be used. There is one more platform called Page Freezer. These are altogether different, which is useful in recent era of social media platforms and web era. Page freezers help in simplifying compliance and litigation by automatically archiving websites, social media, mobile text messages, and enterprise collaboration platforms through its archiving. So it creates evidence on what was posted on some website or what was posted on a social media by somebody, who was that IP address, what was the IP address of that platform, where it was posted, everything. And that can be used as an evidence whenever required, admissible evidence. So they are specialized in this type of matters. In drafting, there are various platforms available, legal drafting, like McCarthy Finch, Article Forge. Article Forge is only creation of article, but from any information it can create article or drafting, documents drafting. If you buy their advanced version, it helps in drafting of various things. Then Word AI, and automated insight and article, Articulo. All these are helping in drafting, legal drafting. E-discovery and due diligence, there are platforms like Everlaw, Asterio, BrainSpace, and Luminance. This is more useful in pure legal practices. Due diligence is useful in M&A and other things. We will just have a look at one platform. We will not go into that deep because we have to match with the time also, and a lot of things have to come. This is considered as one of the leading e-discovery platform. They have got their product demo. We'll just have a look at it. This is on Vimeo, so there may not be a sound in of this video. You can easily upload your data directly on which you want the analysis to be done. It can create very easily the insights for you. Basically for dictative document review and provide insights on what is contents in the documents in very easily understandable manner and very fast. You can find out what are the relevant docs you are looking for from various documents. This thing. Next is a contract review and management category in under legal practice. We all chartered accountants, company secretaries, and other practitioners also do a lot of contract review management. Of late, Big Four has been using AI in a big way in their audit as well as in their legal practice division. Legal practice has been catching the fancy among Big Four accounting firms, and because they are preferred and because of their international connections, they have been able to capture a good sizable market. And as they are very much proactive in using the new age technology, which further aided by their connection, they have been very successful in legal practice. Kira and other legal technology platforms for contract review management has been extensively used by them during their audit, internal audit, as well as in M&A advisory. There has been one article published in a magazine, Legal Technology magazine, which has given a in detail analysis of how these all technologies are being used by Big Four. We'll have one look at a Kira, which is an NLP platform and document review and analytics platform.
Legal teams today are making smarter recommendations with data, but 80% of their clients' contracts remain highly inaccessible, making it hard for firms to truly understand them and effectively advise their clients. But what if you could tap into the hidden information inside your contracts instantly by simply asking a question? Now you can with Kira. Kira is the leading machine learning contract analysis solution that excels at identifying and extracting information from your contracts and documents, and can now contextualize this data to provide you with answers to your most pressing questions instantly. Ask questions already built into Kira. Or have your subject matter experts easily train Kira to answer unique questions specific
Kira's
to your
machine
client's
learning
needs,
model has to be
which will
trained as
develop
per
a
our
skill for
requirement by
clients.
asking questions.
Instead of manually summarizing every material clause, get the answers you need to your most pressing questions instantly. Easily categorize and visualize the answers to produce reports for your clients faster. Get an instant overview of your contracts to preliminarily scope matters and spot risks early to drive informed, value-added conversations. Connect your existing systems to Kira's API to trigger actions based on the answers Kira provides and quickly share knowledge across your firm. Firms can fundamentally streamline the contract review process to make faster, smarter recommendations to clients, providing them with even greater value and satisfaction. Getting the answers you need starts with asking the right questions. Getting these answers quickly starts with Kira.
Just would like to mention that as per announcement, I have gone through on the website of leading lawyer firm Cyril Amberchal Mangaldas. They also in 2017 sometime adopted Kira. Nowadays in legal practice, there has been a trend to have a positions in large legal firms which we have never heard of earlier, like chief technology officer, chief data officer, or chief in charge of technology implementation, client technology assistance officer, like that. That has to come to our professions also later on. Otherwise, we can be maybe lagging behind of them. Now we will go to legal predictions. Predicting technology, predicting analytics technology is based on past data. Huge data sets are generated. In legal, there are huge data sets are available. So based on whatever data sets are available or you can gather and feed to your machine learning platform. So based on that, big data analytics can find out patterns, and AI can provide you, machine learning model can provide you insights on that. So we will first see on a platform called Revel. This is being used broadly into various aspects, in particularly cases where a big stake is involved, like huge suit is filed again by one MNC corporation against the other, or large corporations, and huge amount is involved. Then this type of analysis is done before deciding whether to go for that or not. If any matter has to go to Supreme Court, it involves a huge stake, not only by way of whatever dispute amount is involved, or compensation may have to be paid by the losing party, but also by way of legal expenses. Senior counsels and other litigation expenses has been on a very much rise. You know the pattern of billable hours and other things, and because of that, legal cost is fast escalating. This is one of the grounds why Big Four has also gained ground, because they are able to adopt the technology and provide services at a very competitive price, and which very fast and consumer experience, providing consumer experience. So they are using different platforms for different services. Now we will see how the Revel platform in predictive legal analytics or legal outcomes uses. By utilizing such platform in our income tax and other matters like NCLT, when sufficient data is available and that type of platform available, we can help our client also by advising whether to go in appeal or not. Physically, we may be advising by examining the cases, but there is a limit. The power of visualization based on data. Use visual search to quickly identify landmark cases and find results overlooked in conventional tools. We'll go into depth. What are legal analytics? It finds trends and patterns about judges, courts, and firms to gain a competitive edge. It even helps in selecting not only our counsel to make application before which bench, but what is the status of the opponent counsel, in how many similar matter opponent counsel has won, which type of argument he is normally referring, which case he has normally referred in similar matter, in which and how many cases in similar matter has been favorable to him, how strong he is, or what are his negative point, what are his normally negative argument which has been finally struck down in the courts or a tribunal, then all you can find the insights and advise your client suitably whether to go for this matter, whether to select this client or not, as this counsel or not, etc., or whether to go for appeal or not. This is not loading. Sad luck. There is some problem with this. I think net connection or this site is in problem. Net connection is okay on my part. See which are the courts, which are the judges, but their page is not loading. We will see some other platform. Let us see Lex Machina. Morning only I have reviewed both the sites, pages were properly opening. There were various analytics of judges and courts, how it gives insights. Litigation World Review Lex Machina Legal Analytics platform gives various review. It gives evaluation of your parties in your matter in detail analytics of which are the parties, what is their background, their advocate's background. They have got various applications for law firms, company. What resources they provide is in their video, we will get one. If it is for in-house counsel, how it is helpful. It's for enterprise package, new era of data-driven law, various is a product demo. These all analytics platform requires huge data.
I'm Lex Machina. My database contains over 5 million cases, and I'm adding new cases every day. I have access to all the dockets, documents, and information associated with those cases that I update daily. I have the case outcomes, the lawyers involved, the damages awarded, the time it takes to reach key milestones, and the detailed findings of what happened in these cases. But that's just data. Let me show you how, in just seconds, I turn that data into actionable insights to help save you time and money, better serve your clients, win more business, and win more cases. First, let's start with case strategy. Imagine your client is being sued in a contracts-related matter, and you need to coach your client on how best to proceed. Your case is in the Southern District of New York, so you only care about the 53,991 cases in that district. But that's not very helpful. You need to get to the cases that are just like yours. Let's narrow it down to the 8,175 terminated contract cases in that district. Not all contract issues are the same. Your particular case concerns a breach of contract, so let's filter down to the 7,649 cases with breach of contract claims. Your case has been assigned to Judge Abrams, so we can fine-tune our lens even further and look at just his breach of contract cases. Now we can quickly see that claimants win 12% of the time, defendants only win 5% of the time, but when the cases go to trial, in these cases, the defendants have won 3-2. The most likely outcome is settlement, which happens 67% of the time. Now you have actionable insights in the form of real data so that you can best advise your client on how to proceed. Next, let's look at how you can leverage Lex Machina to win new business. Let's say you're going to pitch Google to represent them in patent litigation. I can quickly show you in which courts Google has the most patent litigation, which judges have handled those cases, which side won, which law firms and attorneys have represented them, and how they performed. Now you'll know how to approach this prospect based on their litigation history and who your competition for that business is. Armed with those insights, you can show Google how many patent cases you have handled, in which courts you've litigated, how long it takes you to get patent cases resolved, and outcomes of those cases. You can even show the shared case history of a specific team of attorneys to demonstrate how well they work together. I can help you uncover valuable insights that are very hard to find in just seconds and help you create winning client or court-facing presentations. Your potential client, Google, is sure to be impressed with the specific data you present with my easy-to-read charts and graphs. Out of the many areas where I can help you, let me quickly share one more. Do you need to size up your opposing counsel in a case? Let's say you're handling an insurance case against Brown and James. You can see they have litigated 28 insurance cases in front of Judge Limbaugh. I can show you case outcomes and what damages their clients have won or had to pay. Here's a key insight. In these 28 cases, they have settled 50% of the time and only gone to trial twice. I can even show you their motion strategies in front of Judge Limbaugh and those outcomes. Knowing your opponent's experience, track record, and past behavior can go a long way for setting the most effective strategy for your client. My legal analytics are transforming the business and practice of law. In the past, you had to base your litigation strategy on anecdata. Now, you have instant access to complete data-driven insights.
So you must have seen how helpful these all legal platforms are there. One thing I would like to add is in France, very recently a law has been enacted where legal predictions about judges and their outcome patterns and other things is considered as a penal offense, and it may entail imprisonment up to something around 5 years. I have just had a read it once, but it is made punishable because they believe it intervenes the judge's behavior and finally intervenes the process of law. That's why. So we have to be careful in using all this, and depending upon the country for which you are using. And there is a document automation software in the last row, various which we will not take up, which already partially covered in earlier also. Now, new trend has come. All these are coded platforms, and sometimes we feel we don't know coding, we don't know computer programming, how much we can get involved in this. But new trend has come of no-code platforms. It is said in future there will be minimum coding and maximum only adapting our requirement to the platform. So I had attended a Low-Tech Fest Singapore's seminar sometime in September and October, 5 days program there, where a lot of non-coding platforms were displayed. Checkbox.ai, Neota Logic, all are belonging to that class, which helps in the similar way in the legal, all these practices, but they are no coding platform. Then we will go to litigation finance. Litigation finance is an emerging trend nowadays. Very recently, Time Group says organizing in the process. I have been receiving emails from them. In the litigation finance, it is being debated. In India, its legality is still in question and being debated, whether litigation finance is allowed or not because of provisions of Contract Act and other provisions and morality. But in foreign countries, it is going in a big way. There are VC also for litigation funding, and all these areas are for us to be a guide in the present or future for expanding our capabilities and adopting new areas of practice. So litigation finance, we can be advisor also and be a facilitator also. So there are two platforms. LegalPay is Indian, on the right hand side, LegalPay is an Indian platform, which is actually like a crowdfunding and putting people on the board. And it is just a platform which is the financial burden of litigation. Any corporate has to go for lead, as I said, Supreme Court and higher level courts, and litigation authorities are very costly because of various reasons. Company may be having working capital problems, but you have to go for litigation if there is no option. And in such cases, if based on the management decision, you may decide whether to go for a litigation funding, or you do not have money, so you may not proceed for the litigation at all. So all these platforms help us in litigation funding. They help to law firm also by partnering with them. They have onboarded various lawyers. This is an Indian platform coming up. We will see the other platform also gives different idea. Legalist. It's in other countries, so there is no restriction for litigation funding there, and they are doing big way. Various technologists and legal experts have come together. Nowadays in foreign countries, there is a age of collaboration going on between different experts, and including technology experts, and you can have a collaboration and start a new startup or a venture. The same is here being also set up in India. Also multidisciplinary practice is coming up. Even ICSI, to my knowledge, has already permitted setting up of multidisciplinary practice subject to certain regulations. They are funding also for a social causes, collecting from crowdsourcing fund, that say for example in a particular location police wrongfully catch a person for a crime and he was interrogated in custody and he dies. So his family members want to make a claim, but they don't have money. So how they will get the money? So this type of platform arranges through social funding, crowdfunding for social purposes also, and to corporates and normal middle class people or whosoever want to go for funding, they have got a various terms and conditions for their funding to different level of people. This is a very lengthy subject. If we discuss, we should have about 1.5 to 2 hours only to go into full detail. But I would like to add that this type of platforms have their own analytical platforms where the funding cases or matter for which they are funding, they do legal analytics. As we see in the legal analytics platform, they determine the chances of success and what is the matter, what are the past cases, and what are the likelihood of this will success. Accordingly, they determine what return they should get, and then we see only invest or the legal funding invest. This is a new area coming up. Another is a client onboarding platform. Many times we have seen even in our newspaper, XYZ Bank has been fined in crores of rupees for non-complying with AML, anti-money laundering, and other identifying proper client or exceeding the limit for that particular type of client, or he or it has been wrongfully onboarded corporate also for certain type of facility. So proper onboarding or client is a must, and that's why new platform is coming. Now we will go to dispute resolution, ADR. Note litigation part we have already seen. Alternate dispute resolution, ADR, is now much talk of thing in India also and overseas also. Even Niti Aayog has already recommended as a policy that ADR should be encouraged as much as possible. Even as I told earlier, Chief Justice of India has recommended for adopting ADR in most of the cases. In fact, he has said that there should be a clause in the contracts or agreements that first referring to the conciliation, mediation, and arbitration should be a mandatory clause in any agreement, and then only recourse to the court should be taken. That was because of the problem of access to justice, as courts are facing huge volume of unsolved cases, and that is continuously piling up. So ADR is a best recourse to that. Plus, as a good news for all of us professionals, becoming an arbitration is allowed if we consider the Arbitration Conciliation Act as the latest updated till I think November 2020, and anyone including CS can become arbitration, can become an arbitrator in any arbitration provided he is a properly expert and trained. So online dispute resolution, now we have seen a spot. Because of this COVID-19, we have seen miracles happening. Like 1 year back, nobody has thought of that. Can a court up to Supreme Court level can go online anywhere in the world? But yes, we have seen how fast and proactively judiciary has reacted, and online court hearings have started in important matters in this corona period, and process of justice has already gone on. And online dispute resolution platforms have started coming up, and online dispute resolution process has been discussed in various conferences, online conferences, and various suggestions are coming. People are adopting and changing to it. This all ODR process is in 3 phases as per my analysis from various platforms and various websites. First phase is use of technology at basic level, where only carrying out hearing is online. There is no other technology used. But instead of being present in court, documents are sometimes being submitted physically and hearing is done online, or sometimes documents are being submitted online, supported by 3 copies or whatever is requirement in the documents, and sometimes totally scanned copies are accepted. And online hearing is conducted. For online hearing, there are various regulations in different countries. In South Korea, there was a separate convention where they were specified in detail the rules and regulations, what angle of the camera should be there in the hearing where witness is being examined in that particular room, how the camera should behave based on his eyes and emotions and behavior. It's how we can find out whether there is any other person in the room, that room where the examination is being going on, and whether he is being prompted or not, how to ensure everything like that, and make that ODR process is a fair and not being interfered. So this is regular online hearing. Second phase is a technology augmented the process of dispute resolution, where technology like AI, big data analytics, all are being used, but decision making is being made by physical judge or arbitrators or juries. So where help of the technologies like artificial intelligence or blockchain based evidence, all this is being taken, but decision making is done by a human being, by proper process of thinking and judgment. But this is a huge process. I forgot to include when we were talking about the legal this, that judges have also been started using this all technologies before pronouncing an order. Think of it, when a judge comes to know after any order is given that by any higher authority in a similar case, a judgment was given which is totally against what judgment they have pronounced, then they may find a difficult situation. So they have to be very careful. That's why it takes a very long time in delivering a judgment after even hearings are concluded. We are not going into what that very much detail of the intricacies, but so the judges are also using this type of platforms of data analytics in similar cases, what judgments were given by higher courts or similar courts, or in this case of single bench judges deciding, then what multiple bench judge of same jurisdiction or other jurisdiction have given judgment, and how far it is similar to this case, analogous to this case, etc. And then he will decide. But it makes this process so fast. So all this facilitates and justice delivery fast and access to justice fast. Delay has been avoided. So justice, once it is more fast, it is less costly and more affordable for people. Using arbitration and online arbitration also, cost of delivery of justice is very much reduced. Process has become speedier, and arbitration sometimes conciliation and mediation is doing faster. Sometimes many cases are resolved at the initial level only. Phase 3 uses resolution is based on technology based decision making, where AI or machine learning process makes a decision. So we will examine certain cases on that. Simple ODR cases are like eBay. eBay is a platform. It is has got its own platform for dispute resolution for clients. Then there is a European Union's online dispute resolution platform. In Canada, Civil Resolution Tribunal is there. Strata it is called, which now is converted into CRT. The CRT is a online dispute resolution platform, straightforward, as well as using sometimes technologies, online and physical filings. Telephone hearing is also permitted, participating by one of the party, if not accessible to the other audiovisual means. it's claiming that it is one of the first platform providing online servicing, and from some 2012-13 it has come with a civil resolution tribunal has enlarged its scope. Earlier it was catering to only condominium and property related disputes, then later on the disputes relating to cooperative societies model they're working, as well as landlord and tenant disputes were being taken. Then later on also the motors insurance and small disputes have been included. So scope has been enlarged. This is a very ideal model for us to follow, and if such type of tribunals are established here for small causes and these all cases, we professional can also be a party and participants in that and do our practice there. Semi-fair claims, all these are online dispute resolution being single. In India also, Legal Free, Resolve 360, Sama, all these platform has come. So I'm not going into all this depth because time is running out and we have a couple of things to be done in the detail. In arbitration, there are different platforms: Arbitrator Intelligence, Smart Settle, Arbidex. These are foreign platforms. Second line, Resolution Cloud, IBRAM, and VWARS. I will refer to first Arbitrator Intelligence. Arbitration, particularly when done in respect of huge claims, international arbitration in huge projects like energy project, construction projects, all these have a huge stake involved. So who is the arbitrator bench before whom we have to go, and what, because of high stake, what may be the outcome, how the arbitrator is there, what, whether to go for that bench or not. This all is helpful in by this platform in decision making. But the point and difficulty is that we had been talking earlier about the big data analytics and saying that because law industry has been a very having long past history and lot of data is available of past cases and judges and various high courts and like that. But here in arbitration matter, data is not published, data is private. So this platform has done lot of interviews of participants in arbitrator matter and collected data, and based on the data points it has made the platform and giving analytics on that based on the artificial intelligence machine learning models. So it gives a recommendation whether to go for one platform or not. We'll just examine this one platform. They examine the keep everything secret because that is the requirement, and then they go for taking interviews of the participants, keeping them secret, and then you get insight of who is the arbitrator, in what type of matter, arbitration matter, how he has performed. All this can be given. We will see one small video if available here. I think it is there. They spotlight the arbitrators also with their consent. Otherwise, they do masking. They have got ambassador program for arbitrators. So this platform provides insight in the international arbitration cases having huge stakes. The founder and promoter of the is once a chairperson of Vienna International Arbitration Center, Catherine. Let us see if anything is available. There was some video. So in large arbitration cases, even the litigation funders are involved, and their VCs and funding people also do this type of analysis so that they can come to a decision whether in this particular arbitration case, what are the chances of winning, and who is the arbitrator tribunal and who is the arbitrator in charge of that matter. So accordingly, they may decide for a funding. Let us see on the report. In respect of a particular arbitrator, all the data is available. On different range of topics relating to one particular arbitrator. How good he is at document production. You can have a view on counsel also, or before a particular arbitrator, how he has behaved based on the various past clients' responses. How award for damages were given under him. What are the chances for winning based on that can be determined. So we will move to one more platform in different category. There is a smart settle. This was relating to helping in selection of arbitration. This smart settle is AI powered in decision making. It has got different product modules, in which smart settle one is where there are two parties and one matter only. There is a smart modeler which helps in multi-party, large stake and different type of dispute matters. Let us examine this. Resolve financial negotiations easily and quickly online. How fast it does. This is an AI-powered platform bringing both parties near to the settlement with a range. It doesn't have a volume. You have to see what the slides are showing. So insurance claim dispute, so brought on this platform, only two parties are involved. Claimant is asking for the range in $65,000. Insurance company is ready to pay only $50,000. So no negotiation was successful. Now the platform comes into action. Visible quote given by insurance companies, they come up by 1,000, while here the secret bid was 63,000. He came by $2,000 below. So AI estimates both behavior and mindset and decides the zone where it may be settled. You can put a secret bid also up to certain level, that giving your intention that I am ready to go. Then machine learning knows that up to this level you may come, try to persuade the other party to come to the near to that level. That's why it brings the mediation in between and settles the matter. Matter can be settled somewhere between $15,000 and $60,000. Claimant's last move was for coming down by $2,000. So is it going to repeat? This is third scenario. no overlapping between 57,000 claim and $62,000 claim. Here, third-party expert neutral developer is involved. These are the algorithms being used, machine learning algorithms. So all this is the future even going to come in India. And this is going to be a big way, a practice area. You can have a franchise and have your own settlement scheme. You are as an arbitrator allowed to do the practice. You can do ODR using these technologies subject to the Indian law and contract law provisions. This is a social platform, one of these viewers. Other platforms are similar to this and have a settlement of a multi-party high stake also. We'll now move to blockchain and smart contract in arbitration. See, blockchain based legality, other we have seen how it is useful in legal. Now we see how smart contracts is helpful in arbitration based settlement. So when the arbitration is to be done on smart contract, how it can be done, we will see. First we'll see simple two videos and I will explain about the negative points of plain smart contracts and challenging in its legality. Then we'll conclude.
In this demonstration, we're excited to share a new open law prototype we're calling Open Court. Open Court will, as we
the smart contract based arbitration, how dispute is resolved
efficiently and in a decentralized way. You'll also get to see some new features of our upcoming API. Let's jump right into it and consider Shady Grove Motors, a modern car dealership that wants to sell cars on the blockchain using OpenLaw's blockchain-compatible
transaction is through blockchain through smart
contract.
contract.
Here we see a simple demonstration vehicle sales contract, which would likely be much longer and more complex in the real world. You can see there are some blank fields in the template that can be used over and over. Now I'll show a rudimentary sales interface that uses OpenLaw's new API to seamlessly automate the contracting process, as well as a smart contract to mediate the exchange of value, in this case, Ether and the car, which is also integrated with the OpenLaw protocol and connected to our template. Let's go ahead and purchase a car.
This transaction is being done on smart contract on blockchain.
Now you can see the power of our new API to integrate with OpenLaw in this e-commerce site. Let's go ahead and complete the transaction by signing the agreement as the buyer.
This agreement is automatically converted into coding.
And later, Shady Grove Motors as the seller will sign. Now that we have a binding contract, it's time for the parties to perform. First, our buyer will fund the purchase, which will be held in escrow and not released to the seller until she confirms that she received the vehicle. She'll now perform by sending Ether to the smart contract that's holding the value between the parties.
The Ethereum-based blockchain is used, so Ether is used. Ethereum coin is used.
Good, the funds have been sent. And then you can see it's waiting for her to confirm that she's received the vehicle. But what happens if something goes wrong when she goes to pick up the car? Disputes happen all the time in the real world. And so we can expect they'll happen on the blockchain as well. Despite the contract, the parties may disagree about the legal terms. They may disagree about how the smart contract is supposed to operate. One party may fail to perform their side of the contract, which is what we'll demonstrate here. Or there could be a bug in the smart contract. Many things can go wrong. Coming back to our example, we'll simulate a dispute arising when our buyer goes to pick up her car. It's not actually what she wanted. One serious problem with smart contracts is that Ether or value can get trapped in them if they aren't carefully designed. Fortunately, the parties' blockchain-enabled contract running on the OpenLaw protocol anticipated these problems. And with our prototype dispute resolution service, we're able to model common dispute resolution terms. The terms you see on screen came from Jani, a very well-known alternative dispute resolution service. We copied and pasted their standard clause, which is freely
available. There should be arbitration clause in the smart contract also.
To support our protocol. So now the parties can sort out their dispute and use an independent arbitrator from the JAM service. You can see a rudimentary new user interface for a prototype we're calling Open Court. Using this interface, our buyer can register her dispute. She'll enter her statement of facts here. We use the JAMS clause in our contract, so the nominee could come from their pool of arbitrators or a case manager, but Open Court was designed to support any arbitration service. She can nominate the arbitrator by typing in his or her blockchain address here. Okay, now this is submitted on the Open Court Dispute Resolution Service, and the statement of facts was recorded in IPFS. Now we'll switch to the
Open Court's beta version is a blockchain-based dispute resolution platform. MetaMask is the platform being used for payment and protocols.
Having switched over to the seller's address, they can now register their statement of facts.
Seller admits a mistake in dispute resolution. Wrong delivery was because wrong car picture was uploaded as a description.
Now you can see that both parties invoked the dispute. And what's very important to note is what happened with the dispute resolution smart contracts we developed. Importantly, the ether that was being held in the smart contract supporting the transaction has been transferred to the Open Court Dispute Resolution smart contract until
Ethereum currency was held in escrow, so it has been now reversed. Payment has been reversed to the buyer.
And now let's make an arbitration decision. You can see the arbitrator can see both parties' statements in this rudimentary interface. So we can see the buyer thought she was buying a car, but she wasn't. And it appears that the seller understands the mistake. So the arbitrator's decision in this case is fairly straightforward. Return all the ether to the party, to party one, who's the buyer, nothing for party two. And now the arbitrator can also provide a statement.
The written pronouncement of judgment.
And submit.
Every transaction used to burn the gas of Ethereum for every submission.
We believe this process, or one substantially similar to it that complies with arbitration laws around the world, should be just as enforceable as any arbitration award, except that it is now recorded via the blockchain and made seamless by the open law protocol. Let's check the status of our dispute. We can see the dispute has been resolved. And now let's check our buyer's account to make sure that the ether has been returned. And sure enough, it has. In this demonstration, we showed you some of the new features of our upcoming API and shown you some ways that we're thinking about solving dispute.
This is another interesting dispute resolution process.
In this demo, we want to show an end-to-end demonstration of a user using the Contract Express document automation technology linked up to OpenLaw's smart contract integration. We'll start with a promissory note example. So in a promissory note, somebody known as the maker will promise to repay money, but in this case, we're going to be exchanging a blockchain-based digital representation of a currency using a popular standard on the blockchain called ERC20. First, here's an agreement of some legal text. I've highlighted some of the terms that have been annotated for Contract Express to use through its dictionary. We only filled out enough fields to get the demonstration going. The promissory note has quite a few terms to it. So we created a template with this example. Let's go ahead and go through the document creation process with the Contract Express Base template. It's a little squished here on my screen to fit it into the video.
Smart contract is being created.
You probably saw me enter, but I didn't explain, is the maker's Ethereum address. If you're not familiar with the blockchain, then you can think of the address as somebody's bank account and routing number. This is how the digital tokens will be routed. So next, we're going to save this. And so next, I'm going to show you some middleware we built to integrate OpenLaw with Contract Express. So this screen is the user interface of the middleware that connects through Contract Express's API to our OpenLaw API. You can see that the document ID and contract ID are highlighted here, which are unique identifiers on the Contract Express and OpenLaw sides. By highlighting this entry, we can see that the contract also has a smart contract component, which is running with some placeholder text. And we can see that the answers that we were provided on Contract Express here, such as the maker's Ethereum address, are now showing up through this middleware layer. So now I'm going to scroll down and show you a little more user interface we built to reveal information that got stored on the blockchain. In just a moment, I'll show you the OpenLaw side that makes this happen. By entering the maker's Ethereum address that we talked about before here, and clicking this button, we can see that certain information got stored on the blockchain. This information is available because of a browser plugin I have installed called MetaMask, which gives us a gateway into the blockchain. It's not necessary for the execution of the middleware layer, but it's just useful for seeing what's happening in the blockchain. And one thing I want to highlight is this line here. This token balance was run independently of the other queries, and it shows that the token balance after the smart contract was executed is now this. So the tokens are the ERC20 representation of whatever they could be. So they could be digital assets, they could be something like a stable coin, they could be real value, or they could just be an accounting value. Next, we're doing some thinking around how to integrate the smart contract components that we've already created on the OpenLaw side. The idea here is that, and what you can see on screen is that from the Contract Express side, users would have access to a number of predefined and pre-deployed smart contracts on the blockchain that they can automate with OpenLaw and Contract Express combined. So thanks for watching.
That's how two examples we have seen on the OpenLaw, which is a blockchain-based platform, how the smart contracts are executed and dispute is resolved in a simple manner. Now, only to conclude in next 5 minutes maximum, these are other high-level platforms of blockchain-based. Before that, I would like to explain about the legality of smart contracts generally world over. That under consent, under the various requirements or of contract, there should be understanding of both the parties to the contract, that in the same way both have understood, and then also only the consent is considered to have been given in a correct way, both have understood about the matter. But in smart contract, if it is coded, then it is possible quietly that one of the party has some intention, the other party may have a different intention. And in that case, it is said that both the party have not consented in the same manner for the same thing. So there is a question on legality. Similar way, it's not possible for because it is coded, if dispute is there, judges cannot understand, advocates cannot understand. Then the question arises about the legality. So to avoid that, and this next generation smart contract has come, which is called Ricardian contracts. This module has come and is becoming very popular, in which there are two parallel contracts are drawn. One is drafted by lawyers or legal experts, another is being prepared by the coders. So whatever sentence are typed by the coders, the same is being coded by the coders. So for each clause, for which also separate platforms are available. We will go to that, see the last example on the internet web. So in Ricardian contract, that understanding and other issues have been taken care of. A code project is a site which is creating next generation contracts, smart contracts. It's open source software tools. In their resources, you will find template library. Template library enables you to have a different clauses or contract which can create a typical hash for coding purpose. So which are the clauses in the contract? Say if you have to give detail of acceptance of delivery, the clause is like this clause allows the receiver of goods to inspect them for a given time period after delivery. Then if it is typed, then what should be the code? It generates the relevant hash for this. So by that way, it can be verified by the lawyer as well as by the, if car rental agreement is there, it is a type of contract. This is a type of clause. This is a type of contract. Certificate of incorporation of a company. If you open this, then you will find different sections like certificate of incorporation. If it is to be made part of the smart contract, description of the company, it will catch up all this. In the second, it is the address of the corporations or registered office, everything. The name of the company will come in first section. This purpose of the corporation means object will come here, and so on. So this way, advocate or party signing to the contract can understand in the normal language, and coder automatic coding is available, and then smart contract is formed. This is called a Ricardian contract. This is an open project and everybody can make their contribution to this type of development. Now next just 2 minutes that what can be the future in practice, like that is a debating artificial intelligence developed by IBM called Project Debater. It is properly trained that it can argue in favor or against a particular topic and debate. We are seeing an example of an argument which world famous debater Mr. Haresh Natarajan.
But I suspect you'd never debate a machine. Welcome to the future. I will argue that we should subsidize preschools.
So whether preschools should be subsidized or not, this argument is there with one of the world famous debater, Mr. Haresh Natarajan. IBM's computer is there, Project Debater.
I think Project Debate is suggest something very intuitive. Like if we believe preschools are good in principle, surely it is worth giving money to subsidize those.
For starters, I sometimes listen to opponents and wonder, what do they want? They prefer poor people on their doorsteps.
Computer puts its own argument. Sometimes it is given the role in favor, sometimes it is given role against. So why it should be subsidized preschool, or why it should not be subsidized? It's a rebuttal it is arguing, and then it will be summarize of the arguments. And crowd sitting the other side will make a decision who has won.
There are more important things than preschools to spend money on. The state budget is a big one, and there is room in it to subsidize preschools and invest in other fields. Therefore, the idea that there are more important things to spend on is irrelevant, because the different subsidies are not mutually exclusive. I believe the following example from a related field will explain what I'm trying to say about subsidy policies. Research shows that child care subsidies to low-income parents enable those people.
Now he is arguing in favor. Computer is arguing against. Both are summarizing their arguments now.
Education improves children's development. In addition, I suggested that attending preschool helps students succeed. And a final point to consider is that preschool can prevent future crime.
At the end of this debate, I don't think the project debater has helped those individuals. She identifies them.
Let us end here this video because timing is running out. So if we see that if this type of debating, machine learning and high level argument capabilities developed in the computer, the same is used through the digital human which we have seen, and you be able to argue before various authorities. Sometime at the same time you may be arguing before a court or income tax tribunal as well as NCLT through your digital human avatar, and this may be going to be a future. In China there is already AI powered judges are there, AI newsreaders are there already coming on the TV reading news. China is far ahead in artificial intelligence technology. There are other various opportunities under RegTech and tech startups. We can set up tech startups for various these things, even for our practice area also. And we have to collaborate with technologists and find out, because we expert in our field knows the in-depth technicalities and intricacies. We can advise how our customer wants, clients wants the things, and we can get it developed and make a startup or coming out with a startup jointly in collaboration. The time to come is going to be of a technology adoption for surviving and coming up, and having a collaboration with various professionals as well as with technologists. Under GDPR also in Indian version, there are going to be various scope for practice areas like audit and certification, which we can be discussed in a length some other time. With this, I close my presentation. Thank you very much to WRC and all the participants here.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Ashok, we can't hear you.
Jani sir.
Yeah.
हेलो जानी सर.
हेलो.
हाँ सर, आपको मैंने क्वेश्चन का ऑप्शन दे दिया है सर, और जो भी क्वेश्चन है सर एक बार देख लीजिए ना सर. आपको
There's some legal bot from Mr. Rakesh. Yes, surely. Let me have link or legal bots details. This I already deployed on Telegram, and which platform was used I can share. And this PPT also I'm going to share so that everybody in their leisure time can browse through and have insight of other platforms and get more insight of how things are being done. I hope this presentation was insightful in the new areas of legal practice, and we all being paralegal and doing legal practice in some or the other way in taxation law, company law. So this can be adopted by us in time to come with more new platforms coming out here and arbitration and ODR practice being done in India. Okay, with this I thank the WRC for giving me this opportunity and thank all the participants for having a presence hearing.
Hello.
Hello.
Ashok, you are not audible.
आपका आवाज नहीं आ रहा है. नहीं आ रहा, आपका आवाज नहीं आ रहा अशोक सर. नहीं अंतिम सर, आप वोटर थैंक्स कर दीजिए सर.
Yeah. Thanks, Harish. I mean, it was actually, insightful information. I mean, the session was very informative, and I mean, we want to introduce more session like this. I mean, in future, maybe we will be pleased to introduce. Invite you for some other session as well. In the end, I would like to thank WIRC, Mr. Haresh Jani sir, and CA Ashok Kumawat. And all the participants for joining us. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Jain sir, thank you.
This session with this.
सब बंद करूँ ना?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.